my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. Walking in my purpose, can't nobody stop me. Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living on my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. Haters gonna hate, but they just fuel my fire. Climbing higher and higher, I never tire. Challenges come, but I face them with grace. Determined and strong, I'm running this race. Purpose driven, every move is divine. In the darkness I shine, my soul's alive. Manifesting greatness, I'm on my grind. Unstoppable force, I'm one of a kind. Walking in my purpose, can nobody stop me. Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living on my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. Walking in my purpose, can nobody stop me. Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living on my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. Purpose is my guide, I won't be denied. With every stride, I feel alive. Overcoming, thriving, I won't hide. In my purpose, I confide. Walking in my purpose, can nobody stop me. Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living on my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. Walking in my purpose, can nobody stop me. Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living on my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. So here I stand, purpose in my hand, living out my plan in this promised land. Walking in my truth, I'm the proof you see. Purpose in my stride, forever free. Life tried to break and shake me, but I'm still here. Vision so clear, I got nothing to fear. Steps ordained, I made. Hey, welcome in. My veins, purpose in my brain. Purpose is my guide, I won't be denied. With every stride, I feel alive. Overcoming, thriving, I won't hide. In my purpose, I confide. Walking in my purpose, can nobody stop me. Every single step, I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Focused on my path, I'm the one, I'm the key. Living on my dreams, yeah, I'm walking in my destiny. Purpose is my guide, I won't be denied. With every stride, I feel alive. Overcoming, thriving, I won't hide. In my purpose, I confide. Yes, yes, I am. Trying to wake myself up a little bit too. How you doing? You doing okay? Gotta keep on praying, keep on slaying, gotta keep that pretty smile. But she's ready to battle, gonna take that enemy down. She feels no evil and holding her ground. She is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, she's taking this battleground. She is a fighter, a crier. That's good, that's good. We're about to get started. Try to get at least 5 minutes. Welcome you all to Monday Lives with Step Out. I'm so glad to be here. I know y'all probably missed last month, but I'm so glad that those that were able to tune in for
the celebration. So for last month, we didn't go live on here because we were on Zoom. On Zoom, we had a bunch of ladies come together just to kind of network a little bit. It was something I wanted to do for my birthday. So, we got together. We had an awesome time. And I hope those that, hey, hey, those that were able to join, I hope that you were truly, truly blessed because I know I was. It was so good that they're asking, okay, when are we going to do it again? So I'm trying to figure out. I don't want to wait again until my birthday month to do it again because they really enjoyed the one-on-one interaction. I did as well. The one-on-one interacting with the young ladies. We had a lot of great topics because it was BYOT. You're supposed to bring your own topics. We had an awesome time. It was really, really awesome. Um, I am so glad to be back live because I had a lot of people say, "Well, we didn't see you. We didn't see you." That's because we were on Zoom, but we're gonna try to navigate both of them to bring them both in so that way everybody be able to tune in a little bit and be able to be helped. I'm sorry for the sisters that missed out. I'm so sorry. We're gonna catch up. We're gonna catch up. We're gonna try to catch up as much as possible. I know from the last thing that we had trying to see who all did there. Continue doing the bingo cards. Continue to develop in self care. Continue to take care of yourselves. Looking out for yourselves. I'm happy because I did announce last month that I was getting ready to go for my licensure exam on this month, and today I just got back from taking it. So if I'm looking tired and run down, y'all please forgive me. I just got back, but I'm so excited to be here. It's another accomplishment. It's something I can check off. Waiting on results, but I'm not about to lean on the results. I'm waiting on it. I put my best foot forward. I put it out there. I appreciate all the sisters for praying for me, going there and coming back and utilizing my brain to get so much information in on that exam. But I appreciate you. I appreciate all the prayers and all the support and just, y'all tuning in. It really, really means a lot. As we get ready to go into the new topic, we did not do a spin the wheel for last week, but I just wanted to, surprise you all and like just get some feedback as well, about how everyone enjoyed the interaction with on the Zoom. You please feel free to comment below. But for this month, we have a whole new topic, whole new thing. I do not have anything to report about the butterflies of yet. I still have the same ones. I did plan on doing one while I was out of town, but I didn't. But I was actually able to rest, so that was good because that's the main thing, resting. If you don't do nothing else, resting is really, really important. I want y'all to take advantage of it because you need to rest. We have to get our bodies back. And so we can't always keep going, going, going. I told my husband, I was like, I can't keep going. I need to relax. I need to take a breather after this whole little thing of studying. I've been studying for a good while. And now I'm like, okay, Father, what's next? So we're going to get ready for what's next now that that's behind me, claiming that I have passed in the mighty name of Yeshua. And we go put that behind us and moving forward to what's next and what the Father has planned for us. All right. So if we go into, so I'm going to add this in. So like I said, just want to thank you all for, tuning in for the Ladies Network for my birthday celebration month. It was awesome. I really, really enjoyed interacting with you all. And talk with y'all. It won't be the last time. I'm going to still figure out a way to kind of incorporate all that into so we can have some one-on-one sessions probably at the end of every month. But thank you for those that was able to tune in. I really, really appreciate it. And now we have our 2025 new topic. Can you guess just from the picture on what we about to be talking about? Probably like, oh my goodness, what is about to happen? What is about to happen? So we know last month we didn't have a specific topic, but the month before that we was dealing with boundaries and why boundaries are important and all that information. I do still have the information that I will be sharing out as well. But this new topic for this month is relationships. I promise you, every time that I think that I'm done, the Father always gives me something else. Well, I don't ever think I'm done. I'm always allowing Him to use me and to speak to me based on whatever needs to be discussed at that time. For I think November, boundaries was a topic that needs to be discussed. And this time, we're dealing with relationships. So, what is relationships, right? Relationships is a big thing. Relationships can be a lot of things, but I love this graphic because of the person that's in the middle. We deal with a lot of people that we don't realize how many people we have in our circles. We don't realize how many people that we have that we're connected to, how many people we're not connected to. We in ourselves in general, like just within myself, I have like a lot of relationships already established, and just we want to go more so into that for your relationships and what looks good. So what are relationships? A connection between two or more people. It can be familial, which is dealing with family. It can be friendly, so you'll have your friends, your close friends, your best friends. You have romantic, so husband, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be, and you have your professional relationships, which is the ones that you establish on the job, the ones that you work with coworkers, all these things. You can also have stranger relationships, acquaintances. That's another thing. One thing we try to let our girls know, like, oh, you don't have any friends, you have acquaintances, people that you don't really put into your circle. We talked about that a lot with boundaries, as far as like who's in your circle, right? Who are the people that you can rely on, and that you can rely on them, who pours into you just as much as you pour into them. So realizing like where these people are in your life, and also like how do they impact you, right? A lot of times relationships can be, if we go to the next slide, relationships can be healthy, they can be unhealthy, they can be abusive, they can in some senses be toxic. Toxic is one of the things that we've discussed, toxic relationships, right? So you can have a healthy relationship, communicating. There are some types of healthy relationships, communicating, respectful. When people are respectful towards you, when people are interested in you, you point, healthy relationship where you both are getting something out of. I'm not going to say transaction because it's not always like a transaction. But I would like to think that it's healthy and it's helpful to whether you'll be able to help someone else and they'll be able to help you, right? So if you look at these examples, and they didn't have toxic, but I am working on that's like, I think toxic is like the biggest thing. It kind of goes into unhealthy, but at the same time, it kind of has its own thing now. The way the new generation is set up is that toxic is like a whole different thing. If you're toxic to me, if you're toxic to my life, like, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. But establishing who these people are, this also comes in handy with the circle, right? With the circle of who's in your circle and who's not in your circle. Based off that analogy in itself, we deal with where do we place people in our lives, right? So if we go back to, we have another one. Let me see. One of the topics that we dealt with when it came to boundaries, right? So I'm going to incorporate that one as well right now, just because it does play a factor with that when it comes to relationships, and we have to be mindful of it, right? So we talked about boundaries a little bit, and where it stops and where it starts. We know what boundaries are and the limits to the boundaries. But one of the things that I want to definitely incorporate when it comes to relationships is that it also starts with you. As you noticed in the previous slide with relationships, that it even in that instant, it starts with you, right? That center person, how you allow people to deal with you, interact with you, it spreads out to whoever it's going to spread. So if you're showing kindness, if you're showing love, if you're being gracious, if you're giving people opportunity, if you're being respectful of people and being on, if you're being like this genuine person, then it spreads out to the people that you deal with. But it's not to say that a lot of times we can be that person in the center that's pouring out all. If you see the green and how it's like pouring out to everybody else, but you don't see where anything is being poured back into you, then that's the problem, right? we have to understand that with relationships, it does start with you, but you have to know when to draw the line and when not to draw the line when it comes to relationships go hand in hand with boundaries, right? So if we go back into this, my boundary range, let me see if I have a bigger picture. Okay. So we do not have a bigger picture. I didn't make it that big. So if we go back into the circle, right? So you have who's in your inner circle, who's in your middle circle, who's in your outer circle. So you have to establish who these people are within your relationship, right? What support looks like for you. Define your support circle. So if your family fits within your inner circle, cool, because they respect you, they understand where you're coming from. They is not no indifferent anything indifferent with you all. Cool, fine. If it's even family and friends, I know some people, like for me, I have a certain category of where everybody are stretched out within my boundary range, because I want to make sure that the people that I have that pour into me are the same people that I'm reciprocating to pour back into them. Relationships are serious. It can become toxic, which is that what we also discussed, and how relationships can become toxic. But we have to be able to know when it gets to that point. So we have to understand what healthy relationship is first before we can branch out. Not before but we're gonna expand on each one separately. So first we're gonna do what healthy relationships look like, right? So healthy relationships can look like a lot of things. If you're in this green zone, right? We talked about this. If you're in that green zone when it comes to relationships, that's the healthy zone for you. That's a healthy place to be. If relationship starts to travel within that yellow or that red zone where you're feeling like, hey, I'm not okay, this is starting to cross a bunch of my boundaries, we're gonna have to take a step back. We have to scroll it back. Okay, maybe you're not all for me like I thought you were. I have been maneuvering people from just that triangle of who they are in my life, right? I've been maneuvering people to see, like, okay, who are these people that I actually have relationships with? Do I consider them a friend? Do I consider them acquaintances? Do I consider them family? Or are they just a complete stranger? You see, strangers are out there. Like, you have some people in your life that may come in and they're like, hey, they don't have no parts, but you're busy. Don't call me, I may be a little fickle when it comes to it, but it was like, I don't know you. I don't affiliate with you. You're more than you extend yourself to not even be an acquaintance. Like, I just don't deal with those people that cause me harm, the people that are not trying to look out for my best interest, the people that are trying to hurt me or trying to belittle me or trying to, that's not like helping me to walk in faith or walk in my purpose that I'm really trying to go into. If they're trying to nag me or tell me, hey, you're not supposed to be doing this, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that, then that's a different thing, right? So we have people that are really trying to help us and people that are not really like meaning to help you, and none whatsoever. So we have to know how to establish between what is healthy and what is unhealthy. What is also abusive, right? Abusive is a totally different subject, right? In all these different subjects, we're going to discuss each week. So today I'm just giving you like the initial little like background of the new topic, which is relationships, and what we're going to be expounding on as the topics, grow as we deal with what healthy looks like. Because I want you all to be able to understand what healthy relationships look like. Because a lot of times we may think relationships are healthy and they're really not. They're really unhealthy, or they're really abusive, they're really toxic. And I want you to be able to identify those things. I want you to be able to identify when it's not healthy. Because a lot of times we can sit in a situation and think that it's healthy and it's really not helping us. That's one of the things that the Father, I woke up in a dream, and one of the things that he has shown me, I don't know, it's like the way he shows me things, like really, really impressive to me, just how he deals with me. So I had these shorts on, right? And I was sleeping, and I don't know if any of you ladies can kind of relate, right? So you have something on that's uncomfortable to you. And this is nothing we're going to talk about when things are uncomfortable. One of the phrases I heard is, be comfortable being uncomfortable. But how many of y'all know that that's not how the Father designed for us to be? We're not supposed to be okay with not being okay when he designed for us to be to have wealth, to have freedom, to have all things, but yet you're living in a situation where you just go be okay with this, be in the middle. So in how he brought relationships to me, right, was that when it comes to like things that like I don't know, some women, we're ladies here, so you could definitely like chime in and relate. Like for me, my wedding ring. So I'm in a stage in my life where my ring is probably like too tight, and I take it off in the middle of the night, and I didn't realize that it makes me uncomfortable when I'm sleeping and I can't find it. So in this particular situation, um, I had on these shorts and I was sleeping real good, but it seemed like that the shorts was like cutting off my circulation. Like they were loose to me, but I feel like they were like too like they were like cutting off my circulation in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep. And I'm like, Father, like why is this like I'm trying to get some good sleep. When you be in that good sleep and you don't really feel like getting up to go to the restroom, you don't feel like getting up to take off whatever's making you uncomfortable. You just want to sit in it. I mean, feel comfortable until you get to a better but this time it wasn't working. It just wasn't working for me. I'm just like, oh no, I need to be free. I need to be free. And the Father told me, he was like, don't allow anyone to have a hold on you when you cannot release it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do not allow anyone to have that type of hold on you to where you cannot release. Like you just feel like, well, I'm just gonna stay in that uncomfortable situation and not let it go. No, you're not supposed to be in a situation where you just always uncomfortable. I have made it my purpose to remove myself from situations when it makes me uncomfortable. So if I'm uncomfortable about it, I don't want to be in it. Like if you why would I be in a place in the presence of people that talk bad about me, that disrespect me, that don't help me, and yet I'm yet giving to this situation and they're yet taking away from me, which makes me feel uncomfortable. That uncomfortable word was just like, wow, like being uncomfortable. I'm just like, I've really in my life, I've been comfortable being uncomfortable. So it's like I knew of that phase of just allowing things to happen, allowing relationships to be the way that they were. Oh, this is the way this is the way it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to just get along with people, and this is where people pleasing come in at, right? This is where people pleasing come in. So we allow people to make us uncomfortable, and we feel like we have to stay in it. We just feel like we have to sit in it and be like, okay, cool. This is where I have to be. Like I have to. And a lot of times there are situations where the Father wants to use, right? He wants to use you to know that you're not. And in this moment, like I haven't been in the people pleasing stages in a good while. But just the way he dealt with me with just like the shorts in the ring, like having things so close, and like that's how I could be. Like people can suffocate you so much, and like you have to stay in it. You have to be in it. Family is another thing too. I never had. Now with friends, I think it's more easier with friends because you don't have to be in a relationship with friends. You don't have to. I have lost friends over the years. I think I probably had. I don't really think I had that much of friends, right? But I know that as I got married and I began to have children, like my circle of friends kind of dense because a lot of people didn't understand. And I used to say that I had a circle, right? So the circle of where you see like the ranges of the inner, the outer. I had my circle of people, the people that I dealt with, the people that I knew loved me, that really had my best interest at heart. When it comes to friends, like even for my wedding, like I had a long friend, like, oh yeah, they go be there for me, they go support me, and that wasn't even the case. Like a lot of times I just held on to friendships just to say that I had a friend. I don't know how many of y'all stay in relationships like that where you're like, oh, I just need a friend. I need somebody, so that I could talk to or this and that. I was on my way back and I was like, oh, I know some people in Beaumont, you know, I don't really know anybody in Beaumont, but the only thing I know about Beaumont is my the ape where my family originated from, allegedly. And like I know, like we have like a street name after us. So that's all I know about Beaumont. But I was like, oh, I thought about going to see it, and my husband brought to our attention. He was like, "Are you really about to go see people like you never talked to, like a whole bunch?" And I'm just like, "You're absolutely right. Like I don't." Like you get that urge, like when you have friends that you haven't talked to for a while, you just want to pick. Like I have my certain amount of sisters and people that I actually deal with and I talk to on a daily basis, if not daily, every other day, weekly, monthly, but we have a connection. Then you have those people that you don't talk to, you don't deal with, but a lot of times just to be in the mix or just to be included, you be like, hey, let me call them up, let me see what they up to. I remember I did that recently. I was like, oh, let me call this person or text them and wish them happy birthday. I haven't talked to this person in a good while. I don't know what possessed me to do that. I was just like, oh, just want to send them a shout out because it's their birthday. But I guarantee you on my birthday, I didn't get nothing. I didn't get nothing. People will show you where their place is in your life. People will show you what type of relationship that you have with them. I believe that and I receive that even more so now than ever. What was that? Listen, Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. We don't believe. We don't believe them when people show us how toxic they are, how unhealthy they are, how abusive they are. We don't pay attention to that. We don't pay attention to the signs. And we just be like, oh, I just want to, get along. I just want them to be. And then that person end up ruining you. I have seen and heard of a lot of cases where people we be like, oh yeah, I just wanted them to be involved. Like imagine if I was the whole, like I remember me personally, like before I went into, I think it was just when I lost my daughter, or I can't remember the scenario, but the father had told me that this person was not going to go into the new year with me. And I was like, oh man, what do you mean? Like I've been cool with this person for a good while. Like, what do you mean? Like they're not gonna go with me? Like I've been with them forever. Imagine if I would have held on to that person. And the way that my life is set up and going now, how I'm following his direction. If I like, we try to hold on to people that don't need to be there, family included. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is a safe space where we can be open, honest, and we go tell it like it is, family included, right? A lot of times we put people in places where they don't belong. And every time that the father tries to remove them, you're like, nah, I just want to hold on a little bit longer. How many of y'all have contacts in y'all phone, the people that y'all haven't talked to in ages, in years, but yeah, you hold on to it. I'm not gonna sit up and put y'all out there, and I'm not gonna put myself out there. I got some contacts I need to clear up. And normally when it comes to coming into a new year, how when I used to celebrate the Gregorian New Year and to bring in the new year, I would, most people, like, they reset their closets, right? So they it's this thing where they reset their hangers to to backwards. So it was like whatever you didn't wear and the hangers are forward, that mean that them the ones you need to get rid of. Like you need to get rid of your closet. Like that's how I have even for my phone, right? So at the beginning of the new year, I used to delete all my text messages, This is what I used to do. I haven't done it in a minute because I have some great messages from a lot of the great sisters and stuff. But I used to delete all my messages and start over fresh. I used to delete all my incoming calls and start over fresh to see who actually is going to call me this year, who's going to text me this year. I even was like, okay, you know what? Excuse me. If I haven't dealt with this person in 6 or 7 months, or if I didn't talk to them barely last year, I'm not going to bring them into my new year. So what I would do is I would, start deleting contacts. Now it makes you feel some type of way. I'm really being honest here, y'all. It really makes you feel some type of way when you actually delete the contact and then the person texts you like for the new year, like, oh, happy new year. Or they text you for something coming up and you be like, who is this? I don't know how many I had to, but most of the time now you get scammers. You get scammers when it comes to that. But that's how it used to be. I'm like, I'm sorry, who is this? And you don't want to do that. So you try to hold on to ties that's not even there. And I'm just like, man, I start being real and honest with myself. If I ain't talked to you, I ain't talked to you. Like, oh, what brought this on? Like, what made you decide to what made you decide to message me? What made you decide to text me? I used to have a big deal with exes. Exes used to do that like crazy. Like they used to pop in and be like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? I ain't heard from you. No, delete. You've been deleted and discarded for a reason. Don't come back. You're not in my present anymore. You are the past, and the past needs to stay in the past. That's how we need to reevaluate our relationships, right? The people that we deal with, the people that makes our lives, that challenge our lives, right? Not for bad, that, you know, that goes against your belief system or goes against, you know, who you are as a person and what you stand for. But a person that actually seeks your best interest at heart, like those are the people we need to reevaluate for the people that are in our circles. So I'm going to go back even to that slide, right? Realizing where you are and where these people are. I gave this assignment before, but this assignment it's like when I first got it, I didn't it took me like 3 or 4 months to complete this chart. It took me 3 to 4 months because they're just like, I wanted to include people like, oh yeah, this person in my inner circle. Oh yeah, this person's in my outer circle. Oh yeah, these people are strangers. I don't deal with them at all, right? It took me a while. And it's not easy to differentiate who's in your ranges of the people that you actually want in your life or the people that actually deserve to be in your life. A lot of times people make family, put it out there. Family, we are taught that family is supposed to be like that inner circle, right? Family is supposed to be there for you. You're supposed to be there for them, this and that. But a lot of times family can be just as toxic. Let's be real. Certain families are toxic where you have to remove yourself. Not in my boundary range, I don't remove myself. I remove them, right? So I deal with who I want to deal with. So if I did consider the inner circle people, they moved to the outer circle. I had some people that weren't even in the circle at all. Like they didn't match any of the inner, middle, or outer. They just like strangers. Because I don't deal with you. You do not have to put up with anything that's gonna choke the life out of you and make you feel like you just have to do what they tell you to do. You have to do, you know, the only person that we supposed to be obeying and doing so is the only person I fear now is Yahweh. And y'all know that is God for those that, you know, that believe that calls him differently. God, Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah, all that. That's who I am the most fearful of. That's the person that I talk to the most. Like when I know that I want to reach out to people, I realize even from a best friend standpoint. So I do have a best friend, but I realize that, you know, I can't reach out to her all the time, or sometimes she is busy, just like sometimes I'm busy and I can't link up with her. I realized the Father helped me to better establish my inner circle, which definitely includes him, right? So I realized that he is my friend, he is my mother, he is my father, he is my sister, he is my brother, he is the friend when I'm what they say, the friend when I'm friendless, the mother when I'm motherless, all that. He is all that and beyond. So just like I don't have to fit anybody into my who doesn't fit there. You do not have to succumb to that. And the other thing he gave me was knowing how to love relationships enough to let them go. Right. So a lot of times we're like, oh, I love them. I want to be near them. I just have to. A lot of times when the Father's trying to, you know, maneuver you, and I can say that when he's trying to maneuver you, it is for your betterment. Like we say in the for the establishment of step out, if you don't step out, how will you walk into your purpose? If you don't step out into who you are supposed to be, how you expect to be who the Father wants you to be? Because that's who has your purpose. That's who has your plan. That's who has the way paid for you. If you don't step out, a lot of times, and this is how the Father showed it to me, because I told you when I first came across, you know, stepping out was after the Father dealt with me during the time of the miscarriage I had at the beginning of last year, and how he was telling me that, you know, you have to step out. Like if he gives me, it's almost like having a threshold. So everybody, we have this threshold, right? And then if you knew, this is I really told somebody recently to help them better understand the direction, like where the Father's trying to take you. If you knew without a shadow of a doubt that if you was to step out, right? If you was to take, all you do is have faith and take 1 foot out the door, that you knew that your blessing was on the other side, would you do it? If you knew for a fact that if you stepped out and relinquished that relationship that is no longer benefiting you, that your blessing is on the other side. If you was to cut off that person that the Father has been trying to tell you to cut off for a good long while, and you are sturdily trying to hold on to them and be there for them and pour, if you knew for a fact that you thinking, oh, well, you know, I need them in my life, I need this person, if you knew for a fact that your blessing was on the, would you do it? I could honestly say maybe like 5 years ago, I would still be kind of hesitant about it. Guys, I told you I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna be so real. 5 years ago, would not have happened. Would I would still be hesitant. I still be to the side like, well, okay, well, can you show me what it looked like first? Can you show me the promised land first before I step out? Can you show me what my friends gonna look like if I leave these people behind, the people I've been close to forever since grad school, since high school, since elementary? If I will you show me that if I decide to step away from my family and do what I'm really supposed to do, can you show me what the other side look like? He will show you. Absolutely. If you ask, he will definitely show you what it looks like. But at the same time, faith without works is dead. If you don't believe it, and assure yourself that, you know what, I believe, like now I can honestly say that if the Father tells me to step out into something or step out and do something, I do it. Like just like all these lives, I have been stepping out. Do I know what topics we're going to be talking about? No. I just have a growth, like a range of what the Father showed me. But each month as the topics approach, I'm like, okay, if I ask the Father, what do you want to be? What do you want to come out this month? What do you want the ladies to be able to discuss and be able to talk about this month? And I allow him to lead me and guide me to where I need to go. I told y'all, like plenty of times on Mondays, I be tired. I be sleepy. Or sometimes I just don't feel good. But one of the things that I remember that the Father said, if you do my will, I will take care of you. If you do what I tell you to do, I will take care of everything else. That's a done deal. What? I ain't got to worry about nothing. I ain't got to do nothing as long as I continue to step out. In which, that's why every Monday, come cold or tiredness or not feeling good, I'm going to be here when the Father tells me to be here. Because you have to be obedient. You have to be found being obedient. Relationships can hurt you. Relationships can be healthy, but you have to establish where it is. But at the same time, listen to the voice of the Father and where he's telling you to do. I'm not telling you to cut your family off. I'm not going to ever tell you to do that. Nope. I'm not going to do it. But if the Father tells you, hey, it's time, you have outgrown this season. I mean, we all go through seasons. I just approached chapter 34. I have to keep remembering how old I am. I'm just now starting to catch up to my age. But catch up to how old I am in age. Not catch up to my age, but I'm just starting to remember like how old I am. And in this new chapter in my life, the Father showed me what chapter 34 looks like for me. If I didn't step out in all this other time, like where that comes from, people being upset, people being mad, people are going to do the most, right? We have to understand people going to be people. We have to understand that. But you have to do what the Father is telling you to do. You have to be obedient. You have to be receptive of what he's trying to tell you to do. We're going to definitely get into more of what these look like. So we will talk about healthy relationships next week. We will also talk about unhealthy relationships, because I don't want you to think that everything is just bad. Everything is not just toxic to where that, there's no coming back, because you can't, everything can be salvageable, but in its time. But you need to be in a position in your lives to where the Father has for you to go, you have to be there, right? A lot of times healthy relationships, and this is something we can go into because we talked a little bit about it during boundaries, and it both kind of goes hand in hand. So boundaries goes hand in hand with people with relationships. So do they acknowledge your personal space? Healthy boundaries, healthy relationships. Do they acknowledge your personal space? Do they understand what you want and what you need? Like not trying to push their own agenda on you, but accept what you're trying to do. Are you clear and firm in the relationships, where it comes even with dating or with families? Like, hey, I promise you, my thing of learning is in relationships. Mine is with family right now. So when it comes to my spouse, when it comes to my children, like a relationship, like, okay, I want to have a healthy relationship with my children. I want to have a healthy relationship with my family. Me personally, I encourage healthy relationships all the way. But will you get them all the time? No, you will not. So this is why I say that you have to establish, going back, it starts with you. What do you want to see? What type of relationships do you want? You have to speak up. You have to be assertive. You have to focus on you in this time. When you decide who's in your relationship, the type of relationship you want to build, it starts with you. Focus on you. Like if you see that this person is for me, if you see that this is good, like this is a good relationship, definitely, yeah. Just like I've seen incidents even where when it comes to money, right? Where relationships sometimes demise over money, where that wasn't established. Like, okay, if I ask you to borrow money as my friend, then I expect, don't be, we go to establish if it's a loan. Like you have to communicate, you have to open up and talk about it. Where that comes with how you want to be perceived, how you want to be valued, how you want to be loved. All this, it starts with you in the type of relationship that you want, right? So when you look at this image and you take it and you see yourself, I want you to see who is in that relationship with you. Who do you see in your inner circle? Who do you see in your outer circle? Who do you see in your middle circle? Who are these people that, and then guess what? You can itemize, right? Because I'll even do the assignment with you all, right? So if you was to itemize the toxic people in your life, the people that are healthy for you, because if people are healthy for you. You know if people are not healthy for you. You know if they don't mean you any type of good, if they're just using you. Me personally, I don't like users. I don't like people that's going to use me. I don't like people that's going to try to manipulate me or try to control me. I have been delivered and healed from man's control. Man's control. Yahweh has the utmost he can, do it. Man, I do not give no one permission to control me. I do not give anyone permission to manipulate me. If you see these things, if you see that, oh, you know what, this person I'm dealing with, they don't seem to have my best interest at heart. They don't seem to understand that where I'm trying to go. If you have to keep explaining yourself like that, that sets a tone already. Like if I have to keep telling you, oh, I'm this person, this is who I am. In my newfound relationship, even we need to. That's another we're gonna add. So we're gonna add faith relationships because we never put that on there. So we have healthy, unhealthy, we have toxic, and then we're gonna talk about faith relationships, like your relationship with God, your relationship with Yahweh, in whom you serve. Like, what does that look like? Like, is he pulling on you or are you pulling on him? Like, that's another thing that we can establish as well. You see how the Father be working? He just be working, y'all. You're like, don't forget about me. They need to see what the relationship they have with me. And we go talk about it because it's really, really important, because that center person, that green person, you can impact the whole world. But you have to have the right relationships with people, even when it comes to jobs, right? So we talked about it's also a friends. We talked about it's also professional relationships. So even in that type, like what does that look like? What is that going to be when you're in jobs and you're trying to build relationships, or if you notice that, you know what, this job is trying to take more from me or not pouring more into me. They don't really see my value, don't see my worth. Like them type of relationships even important as well. But you have to understand it starts with you. So every time that I think that I'm getting away from one, so I'm like, okay, the Father has a way of like intertwining all these into one, because they all do play a part with each other. They play a part with each other. And if you don't establish your needs first, if you don't speak up, draw the line, be assertive, and focus on you, every relationship that you have, don't expect all of them to be healthy. Don't expect all of them to be healthy. I had to really learn how to maneuver those healthy relationships, even when it comes to helping people, right? That was my biggest thing. I care about the people. I like to help people. I like to be there for people. And then me pouring into other people, I was trying to build, what's that called? They talk about like money relationships, right? So like you do it to get something out of it. So like, oh yeah, that used to be my relationships I had with people. Like I would do stuff for their children and for them, but then and like pour all into their children. Like I'd be buying a whole lot of stuff just to build a relationship. And when it came to me, like, no, I didn't get that at all. So it's like, why are you trying to connect yourself to somebody that doesn't want to be there? All they're doing is taking your strength, draining you, and just trying to take everything from you. You have to establish what that looks like for you. But like I said, it starts with you. You have to establish it for yourself. We can go through the guidelines, we can talk about it, we can definitely talk about it. But yeah, you have to understand that it starts with you. You have to establish what type of relationship that you want, what type of people, right, do you want within your life, what type of people that you want to impact. Because guess what, just like that, although it's like white at the end, it's still, I want my relationship to be impactful. So it's like a two-way street. So like it's like a little flow. I'm gonna have to make one though, probably, where it's like it's going back and forth. So like as I'm pouring out to them, the green is pouring out to them, I want to be reciprocated, like it's coming back in. We making it all work for each other. But yeah, it's really, really important. Relationships are really, really serious. We will break down a lot more of what relationships look like, healthy, unhealthy, faith-based relationships, as well as toxic relationships, what it looks like as time goes on. I thank you all so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, this is a great time to let's chat about it a little bit. You know, expectations of what you think that this topic will bring for you. What do you hope to learn or gain from this topic? Is this a topic that you want to discuss? You know, just whatever it is, let's chat about it. This is that time that we have right now. So I'll give it a couple minutes before we get ready to conclude and pray, just to get your feedback on the topic of relationships. And I know we're going live on YouTube and Instagram. I'm so excited to be back and to be interacting with you all. I'm really, really excited. All right. All right. So all minds are clear. We are good. All right. So I definitely encourage you all to definitely tune in. Yeah, definitely. I never would have thought about it of relationships. As the father like brings me to different seasons of my life where I have to deal with things or and a lot of times we try to run away from the topic, right? Run away from relationships because we don't know. We just don't know. The unknown scares us. The unknown is the unknown. But putting our faith in Yahweh and trusting him that he will open the doors that needs to be open. He will close the doors that need to be closed. But we have to have faith to believe that he is just able to do that. Makes all the difference in the world. But yeah, I definitely encourage you all to definitely invite another person to tune in. Invite someone else to join in. We have all the space in the world to help a sister out, knowing that you are not alone. That's our main thing. Let me slide over. You are not alone, which is over here. My hand is missing. Okay, there we go. You're not alone. And also, if you do not step out, how will you step into your purpose? I encourage you all to go to our Instagram page and check us out at sisters.stepout. I also encourage you, we do have a TikTok. I try to do a little bit of something on there. At sisters.stepout24, we try to do a little bit more hot topics on there as well. Just talk about things that may make us a little bit uncomfortable. You are free to email us topics that you may want to discuss or talk about. We do have a YouTube channel that you are looking at now for those that are tuning in on YouTube at sister.stepout24. I encourage you all to tune back in on next Monday. We will be back talking about healthy boundaries. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to what the Father has planned next and what he wants to show and deliver to his people. We're going to get ready for a word of prayer, and I'm going to let you all go to enjoy the rest of your week. I hope and pray that as you continue to embark upon the week, that the Father will continue to show you and reveal to you these relationships that are not good for you, these relationships that are healthy, the relationships that you need in your life, and the relationships that you do not need. I pray that He will continue to, excuse me, I'm so sorry, that He will continue to shine His light in your lives, and you will continue to find His grace and favor. If you all would, well, we're about to go into a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for your life, health, and strength. I want to thank you for all the ways you made and all the doors you have opened, Heavenly Father. I ask you to touch each one of my sisters that have tuned in on tonight, Heavenly Father. I want to thank you just for helping them to press their way into the live on tonight. I ask you to continue to heal their bodies, touch their minds, and free their soul, their spirits, Heavenly Father. Continue to touch them down to the cellular level. I ask you to continue to touch them, touch their minds, touch their boldness, touch their assertiveness, touch their courage and their capabilities, that they're able to do more than what you're asking them to do, Heavenly Father. As you continue to touch the relationships that they're going to be building, continue to touch the relationships that are not healthy, and actually help them to give them discernment, Heavenly Father. Open up the doors for them that they won't have room enough to receive the blessing that you have in store for them. Help them continue to remain faithful to you and open up their hearts to you and yield to you, so that way you will guide them down through the right path that you have for them, Heavenly Father. I ask you to continue to touch, heal, deliver, and set free. Continue to speak to each one of them as you prepare for them for this assignment of relationships and what it looks like as far as from a boundary standpoint. Actually, guide and direct them. Actually, give them traveling grace to their jobs on tomorrow morning. Those that are going to school, those that are dropping off their children, those that are enjoying family, whatever it may be, Heavenly Father. Actually, continue to embrace your arms around them, continue to hold them in such a way that they know there's nobody but you that is holding them and keeping them more, Heavenly Father. Actually, continue to touch each sister as they continue to help be in alignment to another sister. Help them not to hold on to information that they have learned on tonight or that have pricked their understanding. Actually, help them to be able to encourage somebody else and to be able to bring them along. Like, hey, let's talk about it. There's other discussions that are on the table. You're not by yourself. You're not alone. Actually, continue to touch their hearts, know that they're not alone in this prospect. If they're not alone in this process, they're not alone. They're not alone. I ask that you continue to speak to their hearts, continue to speak to their spirits, and continue to give them the grace that they need, give them the understanding that they need, continue to give them the patience that they need, Heavenly Father, give them the shalom that they need. In the matchless name of Yeshua Mashiach, we pray. Amen, and thank y'all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I enjoyed you all. I can't wait to see you all on next Monday. Definitely bring more information that you will want to discuss about relationships, no matter what it may look like, no matter who it may hurt, or we want to make sure that you're okay, right? Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope and pray that you enjoyed it and that you'll have a blessed week. Have a great day. Have a great night, not day. Have a great night. Good night. See y'all next Monday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And bring another young lady with you. I am pressing into you. Lord, if I fight every battle. See y'all later. Y'all have a great night.